This is terrible advice that people give international students looking for a job in Canada. Terrible advice. They say, your experience in another country doesn't matter. That is terrible advice. Your experience that you had in another country is absolutely valuable and useful here in Canada, because as much as people often don't like to admit it, maybe the employers don't know everything that everybody else in the entire world knows. So anyways, there are chances that there is maybe a best practice or something you learned in a past role that's hugely relevant to a Canadian employer. I get you, I feel you. Some stuff just isn't relevant when it comes to immigration or visa issues. Whole other story and a whole other discussion. But when it comes to your job search, I want you to think about how those experiences you had in your other companies and your other roles in your other country can be relevant to a Canadian employer. It's your job to make them make sense to a Canadian employer, and that can be tough to do. So how do you translate that experience to something that's meaningful in the job market here? A great place to start with that is by leveraging any sort of connections that you have in the country. And honestly, just starting to get some feedback on how you're communicating those credentials, because how you communicate that experience is going to be key to the Canadian employer seeing the value that you bring. Your experience matters. I don't care what anybody else says. Your experience in another country is absolutely valuable and useful in Canada, because we don't know everything.